All right. Well, good morning, or I could say good night even. It's around 3 a.m. I'm up. Couldn't sleep. So I thought, well, I'll just come down here and work on this timing system. I was going to do it yesterday, and then I kind of lost a bunch of motivation somewhere. So, anyways, what I'm trying to do today is install the timing system and the Christmas tree lights. And I bought this from this guy here, Slot Car Luthier. He's you can get a hold of him on Facebook, and he also has an eBay store. And this is his drag strip. I can't remember what I paid for it. I think it was about $100 plus the shipping. But I think it was cheaper than that actually. But so what this does is this is going to allow me to run the races. You got your elapsed time here, reaction time. Then you have your lights, your staging lights. And then if you take off early, you get a red light. So it works just like a drag strip Christmas tree light. And then up here you have these buttons that you can push to handicap. You can go up to just short of a second, a full second, which these cars run about like 2 seconds, I think. I don't know. We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out exactly what they're running. So let's walk over here and take a look at one of the cables before I undo it. And it comes with two of these cables. And he can make these cables any length you want. Mine, I think, are 8 meters, which is, I don't know, 26 feet, something like that. And I need 21 feet, so I unrolled one already. And you can see the wire over here as it runs down. And you can tell I have plenty of wire. There's going to be plenty of slack in there, so no problems there with the length. What these are, they got little sensors on them. Let me see if I can get that better in focus here for you. That's about as good as it's going to get. So we got these little sensors, and they get glued into the track. So I'll have to make some holes for them, and there'll be a pair of sensors at the start line, and another pair of sensors at the finish line. So to install it, this is where I'm going to put the Christmas tree right here. So the wires come out the side, which that's about the major. I guess the only thing so far. I haven't tried using it yet, so I don't know how it's going to be once it's operational. It looks to be pretty straightforward, and from the videos that I've seen that he's got out, it looks pretty simple. But the one thing I don't like is I don't like the wires coming off the side because it's going to look ugly. I could make a housing or something off the side of it to cover up the wires, but I'm not going to. So the wires are going to be visible, and they're going to come into this hole here. You can see I have one of the wires. This plugs in. It's got some tape so it stays up on the deck. And there's your first sensor. That's going to go underneath the starting. And then the other sensor goes at the finish line. So it's pretty straightforward. Had to drill some holes. And we'll see how it works. We'll continue on. Well, we got our first problem. My original plan was to run the wires of the track of the timing system underneath the track. I thought that I'd be able to fit it underneath and just run it along. Because the problem that I got is these tables are all separate, 8-footers, and they move independently. Now, my original plan was to run the wire underneath the track, but the problem is that these tracks have these ribs in it. There's rib there, there, and there, and there. So they got these 4 ribs on there. Now, these ribs are the same level as the rest of the track as far as the bottom. So if I tried to put a wire underneath there, it's going to pop the track up. And that's not going to look right. So I could do it one of 2 ways. I can go and take each one of these tracks and manually cut out a notch in each one. And I grabbed my little notcher just to see if it was feasible to do it, and it's not. So I would have to do it with razor knives and and luck, and it would be a real pain in the ass. So how am I going to get around this problem, you ask? Well, I'm going to run underneath the table, and the problem is that you got to glue these sensors into the track. So I'm going to have a sensor down here, at each of the front, each of the starting line, and then I'm going to have another set of sensors on each of the finish lines. So, and they got to be glued. So that means that track isn't going to fit through that little hole that I made to put the wires through. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to run it full length underneath all the tables. I'm going to glue it up underneath there, knowing that if I ever have to move these tables, I'm going to have to cut the wires. But it's a 2-strand wire, so it's not a big deal to cut them, Not a big deal to cut that wire and splice it. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to mount it underneath the entire table and cross my fingers and hope that I never have to move this table anytime soon. Eventually I'm going to want to move this table out of here because this is the area that the across the road section of the diorama goes on. And eventually I want to get that project done. I mean, I'm hoping that this project is going to push me forward enough as far as my quests into monetization to where I'm hoping that I can get enough going to build the other side of the road. In that case, then, I'll have to find a different place for this. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it at that point. I mean, if it's successful, I'm going to keep going with it. If it's not successful, who knows? I might end up just selling the strip. But I'm going to give it a good shot. I want to try it for at least a year to do the races and see where they go because, everything takes time to catch traction. And so I'm committed to this for a year. And we'll see what happens after that first year. If things are going great, then I'll continue making the videos with the drag strip. If they're not going great with the drag strip, then I will probably disassemble the drag strip and sell it or something like that, and take the money and put it towards the diorama. So we'll see. I got some drilling to do, more drilling to do, and then some gluing and fitting, and we'll see where it gets us. Hopefully we can get this thing working properly, and that there's going to be no problems. Knock on wood. And I'm knocking on some good premium wood here, so hopefully it'll count. All right, let's move on. All right, well, I got it installed. Got the little sensors in. More on the other side, and I got everything plugged in. But it won't light. It lit when I tested it, when I plugged it in before, without anything else plugged into it. Before, it ran just fine, it seemed to. So I don't really know what exactly the problem is here. Let me plug these sensors. See if I get something to light up without the sensors, because maybe it's a, no? Okay. I just unplugged the sensors. I thought maybe it would light up now. It isn't doing anything. Oh. I got a flash of light out of it. Oh, hold that. Nope. Nothing. Okay, well, doesn't have to suck, huh? Alright, well, I kind of figured, it's one of those things, anytime you're dealing with custom stuff, there's always problems. I was dreading installing this in a way because, it's like, I was afraid this was going to happen. God. Oh, excuse me. I did not mean to swear there. Yes, I did mean to swear. I meant to swear actually a lot worse, but I can't say anything like that on YouTube. Otherwise, I'd be flying off into Tourette's land right now. So, well, I'm going to have to write the guy that I got this from and ask him what is wrong and what did I do wrong. Because I did everything according to the instructions. I watched the videos, did everything according to the videos. He said use a little touch of glue on the edge and then use hot glue to set it in the rest of the way. And I did that. And it's not lighting. So I don't know what's going on. Because I know it lit up when I plugged it into the wall before. When I just plugged it in just to see if it would light. It lit just fine. So I don't know what's going on now, why it's deciding that it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to send a message off to the guy that I got this from and see if he can help me. So stay tuned. This ordeal will continue. See you later.